I found
we're
this
live.
cool website. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, that was quick.
You're good. You're good. Welcome to the Game of the Year episode, everyone.
Yep.
You knew it was coming. You got real excited, and that's why we're doing it this week. Because guess who's feeling all better? It's John Arbuckle.
Yeah. He finally got some help and realized that his cat is not talking to him.
Paul, that was your cue to give us your best John Arbuckle.
I don't actually know what he sounds like.
It's okay. We'll just do it from the top.
Okay.
It's the Game of the Year podcast, everyone. Thanks for coming. You got real excited because guess who's feeling better? It's John Arbuckle.
Hi guys, great to be here. I don't know what he sounds like.
No, we're happy to have you, Mr. Arbuckle. I understand you brought 10 games that you're very excited about from 2019.
They're all Garfield racing.
all 10 slots, really? Just one game? That's it?
It's the only one that exists in my world.
Okay, well then what was your most disappointing game of 2019?
Oh, there's no clever Death Stranding.
Those are the two. I like that those are the two games
that exist.
John played in 2019.
Death Stranding and
then a lot of Garfield
yeah,
or Garfield Racing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So surprise change. This is not the Game of the Year episode, as we mentioned last week. John got super sick at MagFest and has been stuck in bed. Hopefully next week will be Game of the Year. Yeah. We're just kind of waiting until John tells us he's good to go. So we're just going to get a regular episode this week. But Paul, how's your last week been?
Good. I finished catching up to Good Place a few days ago for the new episode.
Right, and they're not back yet, right?
Tonight is the new episode. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm caught up with that. I finished Watchmen. That's good.
Watchmen is so good, right?
That's very good. Yeah. Specifically,
those last 2 episodes?
Specifically the fact that things I thought were just world building throwaway stuff from the beginning actually had huge impacts on what's going on in this world. I thought
Can
some
you
of
give
this
an example without spoiling anything?
Honestly, not really.
Okay,
basically,
well, then don't.
I'll just say that basically the setting has to do with racism specifically.
For sure, of course.
And I kind of thought that was just starting off the series as this is just kind of showing what the times are, but stuff that happens at the very beginning are very closely tied to characters and stuff in the story. It's not just world building. Everything is written for a reason. Also, they wrote characters proper. It's really hard without spoiling stuff, so I'm gonna stop. It's very good. People need to see that show. It's other than that,
I really want to watch it again just to see what I pick up on.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, the hint at so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of just want to see what I would get from it on a second viewing, having known where it ends up.
It's honestly basically a 9-hour movie split into 9 parts. So more than it's a series, it's a very good cohesive narrative throughout the whole thing.
It is such a strong season. Here's your question. Do you want a season 2?
Well, the way they end it, I don't know. I want to see.
They could go either way, right?
They could. Yeah.
If they just never brought it back, it's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be so worried about a season 2 because season 1 is so strong and it ends so nicely.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too.
I think the casting was fantastic.
The casting's very
Jeremy
good.
Irons as Ozymandias is so good. Holy smokes, he does such a good job in that role.
He has that perfect amount of smugness and arrogance to him, even in even when literally nothing's happening and he's bored, he's still smugly bored. I don't know. He's so good.
Gene Smart as an Agent Blake. Silk
Yeah.
Spectre from the old. She does such a good job.
Yep. She's
And
very
then,
good.
obviously Regina King does really good. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is just such a strong season of television. I've also been trying to think because I keep telling my girlfriend Watchmen's really good. Watchmen's really good. She hasn't seen anything Watchmen, read anything Watchmen. So I'm wondering if she could just watch this, or do I need to introduce her to some of the story from before so that she would get some of the big things in this season?
I feel like if you don't have an attachment or like knowledge at all, a lot of things that I find like some of the better parts would fly over your head, and I think that's a little disappointing.
So I was thinking like, well, the fastest way, like obviously the best way would be read Watchmen, but that's like,
Yeah.
here's the next 8 hours. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy doing homework.
If she has
which
like a
isn't
big flight or
great.
something ever, that would be okay though.
I think that'd be asking too much of her if I'm just trying to think about it. So I like the Zack
movie's
Snyder movie's
close,
not great,
and it's
but
close
at least
enough.
it's close story wise. You know what I mean?
Besides,
like
like
here, let's watch this bad movie just so that you can have like a really good viewing of this season. That's what I've been thinking.
the only thing you would have to tell her is that like the thing the movie gets wrong is that there should be a giant squid monster.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's really important.
That is important for the season, the TV show. Yeah.
Yeah. What if you watched Reed Man? Damn.
What is
my
Reed
mind?
Man?
My mind is blown. I have no idea.
I don't know what that even means.
But yeah, no, watching the movie with the like caveat, maybe even like watching a YouTube video that like kind of catches you up on the story and important plot points and characters might be okay. If you really wanted to just rush it.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. I might just do the movie because I haven't seen that movie in a long time, and I'd be kind of curious.
I think that movie's still fine. Like, it's not great, but it's fine. It's close enough. It does suck it doesn't get the like squid part right, or like it has some weird differences, but
all right. But I think it gives you the main points. Like, it explains who Ozymandias is. It explains who Dr. Manhattan is. And those are kind of the things you need. You basically need to know like kind of how each of them began and how each of them ended.
Yeah.
To really get the season, I think.
You need like 4 or 5. That movie does do a good job of just kind of cramming 4 or 5 origin stories into another story that's happening. It had a lot of source material, so I kind of don't blame them, but I don't know. Yeah, that's
good though. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of good television, though, Sex Education 2 comes out next week.
The 11th, right? I thought. Oh, that doesn't make sense. That's Saturday.
No, I think it's 17th. I think it's the Friday. So next Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is the same day as Tokyo Mirage Sessions. So I'm going to have a real fun evening at home.
Hell yeah. Man, I can't wait to watch that again. That's going to be
The trailer came out. I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
No, there's no point. I know I'm going to watch it. So.
Okay. I'm just, if that was something interesting to you, I watched the trailer. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, no, that's a great show. I can't wait for that. I think there's some other things I was excited for coming out this year, but I can't remember what they are now.
TV-wise, there's a lot this month. BoJack comes back and finishes this month. Sabrina comes back.
Sabrina, right.
Which I'm less excited for, but I'll watch it. Why not?
And we just said Good Places this month and finishes.
Good Place. Yeah. April. I don't know. Did you ever watch What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series?
No. Is it good?
That's fantastic. Have you seen the movie?
No.
So the movie's Taika Waititi and Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name either. But they did it's a mockumentary comedy based on vampires living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny. And then they came out with a TV series co-produced by the two of them that is also very good. So season 2 of that comes out in April, which I'm excited about. But I highly recommend that. That's on Amazon Prime. If people have Amazon Prime, watch that TV series. It's very, very funny.
Cool.
But yeah, nothing else really going on with me. So why don't we do the podcast proper?
Okay.
It is January 9th. This is the Top Down Perspective. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
And Paul, what have you been playing?
So literally right after our podcast last week, I downloaded and played Kuukiyomi Consider It with my girlfriend. So we played it together. The co-op, because I wanted to see.
Right, I watched it because I was curious how co-op would work. I am curious, real quick. Did you play any of the single player?
No.
Oh, okay.
So anyway. I have been playing the single player on the mobile edition, which somebody in our Discord let me know exists.
Is that a real thing?
That is a real thing.
Is it the same name?
Yeah, it's. I bought it because for me there was a free version and a dollar version. The free version was like riddled with ads, so I just bought the dollar version once I knew that it ran okay.
Oh yeah, we have Kuukiyomi and Kuukiyomi Pro.
Oh, so you have the free ad-riddled version as well, if you wanted to try it, I guess. I would just buy it for the dollar. It's a little janky, but it's fine. It just does some weird. It's the same game, not made for phones necessarily, but so it has weird touch problems every now and then. It's fine. It looks
like it's more. There's more English in it.
Yeah, and it still doesn't make sense, like the menu or anything like that, but they try, I guess.
I guess I'll look into this.
Sure. So I've been playing it on that. The bummer with that is that it doesn't grade you. It just says, you did it or whatever after every 5, and it's well, that's a bummer. I kind of wanted the grade.
Well, I mean, like I said last week, the main game doesn't quite grade you either. It says, you were moderately considerate. And it's what does that mean?
Yeah, so the together mode, it does grade you every 10, and it only goes in multiples of 10. It doesn't continue on after that. It takes you back to the main menu, and it grades you on how compatible you are together. It's weird. There's what are the things? There's definitely a synchronicity grade. I think there's one for consideration and one for something else, and it just kind of does the polygonal graph of where you guys sit, right. And then it gives you a little picture of your two characters or whatever. So we were playing it together, and it's fun. It's cute. It's a fun, cute little thing. There's not really a whole lot to talk about because you pretty much described what it is last week. Just as a quick reminder, it's a whole bunch of quick mini games where you control a character of some sort to do something. So one of them is you control a guy who's running and you can make him jump over the flower or just run right through it and kill it. Another one is the bus where you move over to let a couple sit or don't and then make them stand or whatever. And the 2-player mode is essentially each one of you is controlling a different character, and you yeah.
So I finished that game later that night. Since knowing there was only 100 of them, and I was at 60.
Sure.
At the very end, it gives you an overall results page.
Okay.
And then grades you on 6 different things. I
tweeted
this out, tweeted it to you because I want to see what your overall grade is and see how we compare. But it's
sure.
Application, determination, sympathy, ability to fit in, sense of duty, and quick thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it said your sympathy is your best quality, hybrid car level.
Okay. Hybrids are big, I guess.
And sympathetic?
I guess so, yeah.
I guess I can kind of see that environment.
Sure.
Anyway, I got an 81 on sympathy. My lowest was determination at 56. Sense of duty was 58.
I wonder if that's because you stopped halfway. I wonder if determination goes up if you just go through all 100 at once.
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea what ability to fit in would be.
Pattern recognition, I think. This is okay. I need to know something.
Thinking?
I need to know something from you. The one where there's 3 girls sitting at the edge of a table, A, B, and C, and your buddies are just I want A, I want B, and then the one beside you's like, I want A. Do you follow them and conform and say B again to follow the pattern, or do you say C because she's gonna feel left out otherwise?
Okay,
Is that a no-win?
I think I said C,
Yeah.
and then the game acted as such and gave me no feedback about whether that was good or not.
Right. So I wonder if that's one of the things that, like, if you chose B, your fit in would go up, or like your sympathy for choosing C went up. Like, I think it's one of those you could do either probably. Okay. As long as it's not A maybe, again. Yeah. Or maybe A would be fitting in.
Are very binary, like
yeah.
Like the bird getting in line. You get in line.
They're mostly you can smack the other birds away, I guess.
I guess that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's more going on than we think. I just wish I wish it just kind of told us, like, it let us peek behind the curtain a little bit. So I can understand, like, what am I supposed to do? But maybe that's part of the test. It's testing me, and I did the test, and I went in blind. So I'm curious what you get.
Yeah. I should go through it at some point when I'm bored, for sure. Other than that, I've been playing Voxelgrams some more. This is the Picross 3D on PC clone or whatever. And yeah, I'm almost done with that thing, which is a little too bad because then I'll have to find a new one of those to, like, a new Picross game to wet my whistle on. But luckily, there's so many of those, that's not going to be that hard.
Right.
So, yeah. I finished Indivisible. That's the big one this week.
Oh, nice.
So 100% completion, all achievements. Went through that whole game.
Wow. Okay.
That is
good time.
That's a great.
If you did everything,
that's a great time. One might argue it's maybe one of the top 10 games of last year, but who knows? We'll see. Honestly, I don't even know at this point because I have to redo my list. I was telling you off air. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to do like I said, I think my list is pretty locked. I need to go through our podcast notes and see everything I played.
Yeah.
To see if I forgot about anything.
Yeah, because that's what I started doing, and I forgot such bangers like Baba Is You. I forgot I played that.
Okay. Sure.
So
yeah.
There's there's others I forgot, but they might be on the list, so I'm not going to describe which ones they were.
Nice.
Yeah, that game's good. It's hard to talk about any more than I have already. Again, I guess I will say one thing. I don't like how it ends, because the way it ends, it takes away the mechanic that the game has kind of trained you to do the whole time. And it's kind of cool because story-wise and lore-wise, the way they make you do the final fight...
Are you going to spoil something?
No. The way they make you do the final fight is akin to how they start the game, kind of. And I think that's cool. But mechanically, they take away abilities from you so that it's kind of like a one-on-one thing, and it's like, well, this sucks. I spent like 17 hours doing it this way and building this team I like, and now I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this weird thing now. And also all this there's a lot of platforming weirdly out of nowhere at some point, and like that's fine, but if you don't like I love platforming. Like White Palace and stuff in Hollow Knight is like one of my favorite parts of that game. Like I really like hard platforming and just like kind of tedious platforming sometimes. If you don't like platforming, maybe it strikes you out of nowhere that like the last part of the game is a lot of it, and then the final fight is kind of weird, and like I could see somebody being put off by it, but I think the rest of it kind of outweighs the problems I had at the very end. So I really, really like that game. There's too many characters. I think I had 20 or 21 by the end, like to put in a party of 4 that I could like switch in between. There's a lot of characters, and they all seem kind of viable. That seems like a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's just like I want to use all of you. Like I don't know.
Gotta play through it again.
I gotta play through it again. That's it. And also there's this weird thing where apparently there might be 2 other characters that are being patched in at some point, but there's like no information about that. So maybe it's coming with like the Switch port. Oh, maybe. Play through it again on Switch. I probably would. It's pretty fun. I really do like it. I guess like another problem, and I think I said this last time, is that the fights don't feel like they matter. You don't get experience. You get experience points from them, but experience points kind of don't matter that much in this game. They don't give you money or items or any like. There's no like grinding necessary, so you don't want to fight. But the fighting is like one of the interesting parts of the game. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it's kind of like.
I mean, not grinding sounds good to me.
Sure, but they still put like fights in there for some reason that are just to like waste your time. I think that's like the problem I have with it, where if I'm gonna have to do this fight anyways, like give me some gil or gold or something that I can buy a potion or so, like I don't know. They don't have any of that stuff in there, which is fine. It's just I wish I got something out of it whenever I had to fight, because the fights feel so long. But yeah, I do recommend that game to people, specifically if you like Metroidvanias. I've heard a lot of people say they didn't think it was a Metroidvania game when they saw like initial stuff about it, and knowing it is a Metroidvania, they're not going to get it anymore because they don't like that type of game. So like, I guess I would say I love Metroidvanias, and if you like them, this is a like neat one that I would recommend. If you don't like them, then don't get it. Like, you're going to be disappointed for sure. There's a lot of backtracking parts and revisits to stuff or to areas where you have new abilities, but that's what I like about that type of game, is retreading old ground with new abilities and finding new things that I missed and whatever. So yeah, people should check that out.
Right on. I look forward to playing it during these 2 months of not having games coming out.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Cool. I played a bunch of stuff. First off, I finished Remnant from Ashes.
Oh, you did? Okay. Co-op, right?
Yeah. Did co-op the whole time. I think our runtime ended up being about 15 hours.
Oh, that's not that bad. Okay.
Could have definitely been longer. Like, most of the bosses in that game are totally optional. If you just like come across them, you can fight them. To the point of like, we got to the final boss, and the final boss works like a weird way.
Okay.
Especially if you're co-op. It doesn't feel like it was designed for co-op very well.
Okay.
It's this weird thing of like, the boss will warp you to a new area, and then you need to complete tasks in that area to give yourself damage buffs, so that when you come back to the main final boss, you can actually damage it in a meaningful way. Otherwise, you will do like less than 1/100% of its health with just your regular build. But because it's co-op, it only warps one of you at a time. So the other person just stands around waiting for you to come back. Like, literally. So it's just weird. Like, all right, which one of us is going to go? All right, good luck. I'll see you in like 30 seconds, I guess, and then we'll see who it picks next time.
I'm going to quickly grab a drink, so you go.
Well, but the weird thing is it keeps firing at the other character with like extremely easy projectiles to dodge, but you need to still be dodging. So you can't just be like, peace, I'm going to the bathroom. You got to be there like holding right on the control pad or whatever.
That sucks.
It's weird. Anyways, I bring up the final boss because we got stuck on it, and we're like, well, I want to go do some grinding. And it's just so easy to fast travel to an area, walk to a part of the map that you hadn't seen yet, and there's most likely a boss at the end of that way. So we just like found another boss that we hadn't seen before. Leveled up a couple times, and then was able to take on the final boss.
Cool.
So there's definitely more to do in that game. I think it starts off in its weakest by putting everybody in like the destroyed city, because that place is beyond ugly. I think the game overall isn't super nice to look at.
Agreed.
But the last area you get to is definitely the nicest. It's this like I don't know, like fairy tale forest where everything is kind of shades of blue and purple and stuff, and things are glowing. Like, it looks the nicest. And it's just a bummer that they put that at like the final section. Because before that, you're going through super gray destroyed city, then you're going through like super brown desert, and it's just a pretty ugly kind of game overall, but it's fun. It was a good time, a really good co-op game. It's on Game Pass, so definitely check that out. And it was funny because that was kind of like one of my like holiday co-op games this year, and last year one of my holiday co-op games was Ashen, another Souls-like game.
A co-op Souls-like,
Ashen, Remnant from Ashes.
Oh no.
Coincidence? I think not. something to think about. Follow the money.
True.
I played through a game on Apple Arcade. This came out over the break
Okay.
called Builder's Journey. This is a Lego game that you shouldn't write off. This is punching above the class of what you'd think a Lego game is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's weird because you're doing very easy and pretty short kind of vignettes of building something. It's kind of a point and click adventure. You're basically building a path for your character to get from one side to the other. There's usually only like one or two things you can really interact with, so it's more just kind of like experiencing the vignette. But it's this like heartfelt story about a kid who just wants to like spend time with their dad or their parent, I guess, because they're Lego blocks. You can't really tell the gender.
Sure.
But the dad has to work all the time and the kid gets lonely. And what's crazy is this is a Lego game. Like this is super weird. It's hard to describe, but you're looking at these like little dioramas and you just kind of build the path for the kid to get from one side to the other. There's like 40 stages, but like I said, each stage takes you maybe I don't know, 5 minutes at most. Like you can beat this game in 90 minutes. And I think it's just really interesting that Lego, went out and got developers to make this kind of game, because this is not what you expect. When you think Lego game, you think of, slapstick humor, nonstop slapstick humor, right? You think of movie tie-ins. And this is like the furthest thing from it. It's also gorgeous. Like
the Lego movie kind of had that like story to it though.
Sure. But even that is like, that's a comedy.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
This is, this isn't really funny. This is just kind of a heartfelt little, short 90-minute game about a kid and their parent. Just kind of reconnecting basically through Lego bricks. And it's interesting. I would, at least look up like a trailer or something just to kind of see like how nice it looks. It definitely kind of gives me vibes of like when people make like, they'll build something with Lego and then they'll like light it and they'll actually like frame it really nicely. And, those actually end up looking pretty cool. Like Lego can definitely look cool and not just like a toy. And every one of these vignettes is like that. So it's just really interesting. It is such a weird thing that exists. And that's Apple Arcade. So if you have Apple Arcade, check this out if you're looking for something kind of off the beaten path. This is Builder's Journey.
Cool.
Demon's Tilt. I actually played this a few weeks ago, mostly over the break, and just forgot to talk about it last week.
Sure.
But I did want to talk about Demon's Tilt. I believe you talked about this
a little
month
bit
or so ago.
Yep.
This is, what's the subtitle? Satanic Pinball Action?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Something like that. It's just a pinball game. There's one table, but it's like a really long table.
Yeah.
It's like composed of like 3 tables inside of one table.
Yeah.
I think I haven't kept up with video game pinball, so I can't really say if this is doing anything new or exciting, but I think it's a pretty good game of pinball. Yep. And there's tons of weird lights and sound effects going and creatures going across the screen, and because it's trying to be satanic, so Lilith is there and she's like bleeding out of her eyes and there's bats flying around, and it's just a good time. And it's just a really easy game to just be like, let's just do one more. Let's just do one more. Here we go.
For sure. You're playing it from Game Pass, right?
I'm playing on Game Pass, so
me too.
Another shout out to Game Pass.
So my problem I had with this game is that it's $25 on Switch, and that's too much.
Wow.
Yeah, that's too much. If you have Game Pass, this is great, but don't buy this for $25. It's not enough, I think.
So part of me thinks that seems like too much for pinball. The other part of me is like, I don't know how much pinball regularly is when it comes to video game pinball.
They're usually free where you buy the boards is usually how they do it.
Well, I thought they were usually like, you kind of buy the game and then they come out with new boards or new levels, and then you buy them for like $8 or something. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Or no. You don't buy the game. The game is free, but you buy the boards you want.
Exactly.
I thought they were maybe around 8ish or something. 25 is a lot. To be fair, this seems pretty intricate compared to like, again, my touchstone is regular pinball.
Sure.
This is like 3 boards in one, and I'm assuming a lot of those like Williams collections are replicating real ones.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. So this one's obviously doing stuff that couldn't happen in a pinball, like that there's bosses inside the stage that are shooting things at you and whatnot, and laser beams going everywhere.
Yeah.
25 still seems like a lot for pinball, just full stop.
Yeah. Pinball Effects 3 is the new one. On Steam, it looks like you can get a bundle for about the same price, about $25, and you get like, maybe that's just the going price. You get 3 or 4 boards doing that.
Well, that's okay. So that's about $8 a board.
That still seems expensive to me, thinking about it. But yeah, that seems like it tracks at least.
Yeah, $8 a board. I think it's just because we're not pinball people.
Maybe. I would I would rather play real pinball. Like, that shit's fun. But like,
sure. I don't know, but at the same time though, I don't know if I'd put $8 into one table of pinball.
That's true.
Yeah. Like I might put like $10 into an evening of pinball and play like 5 different tables, but like one. But then again, I can tell you there are pinball people out there that are like, tonight $40, I'm playing this table all night. Keep the drinks coming. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are pinball people like that.
That's just not us, I guess. Honestly.
Yeah. But but we are Game Pass people, and this is a fantastic Game Pass game. It's a lot of fun. If you have Game Pass, check out Demon's Tilt. If you don't have Game Pass, get Game Pass, and then check out Demon's Tilt.
Kinda, yeah. Demon's Tilt's pretty good either way.
Yep. All right, I have been playing a whole bunch of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Are you done? Or are you
not quite? I think I'm near the end.
Are you going completionist? Like, are you going back and 100%ing each area?
I'm not, but I do have some drive to go that I do kind of want to go back now that I have a lot of the powers. So I might go do some more stuff. It kind of depends on how the next like week or so goes.
Sure.
In terms of what I end up playing. I will just ask, how close am I to the end? I'm at Dathomir. Like, they actually sent me to Dathomir now, and it just felt like a big owl thing.
I'm trying to remember a big owl. Oh,
I got like the climbing gear.
That part felt not Gears. That part felt God of War-ish to me. It was very cinematic, the fight with that thing.
Sure. Yeah. How much more of the game do you think I have story-wise?
So when you're finished with Dathomir, they'll send you...
Is there another planet after Dathomir?
No, but they'll send you back to do a thing and then back. They make you go back and forth once, roughly. Okay. And then they'll send you to the last area.
Okay, so after Dathomir, I have kind of 2 sections to go or 3 sections to go?
I'd say you're probably about 4 hours away if you're being like
so I'll probably finish that
slowish.
Most likely.
Yeah.
That game's good. That game's really broken.
There's some problems with it, for sure.
Like, it's just a janky game.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate how the humans look in that game. Like, I think the not monsters, the alien races and stuff look fine. There's something about how when they move their face when they talk or whatever that I hate.
There's definitely like they're not going for realism. They're definitely going for like kind of a cartoony look. That's a little weird. I don't know if I think all of the creatures look good. I think the Wookiees look really bad.
The Wookiees are fucking terrible.
I don't know what's going on with the Wookiees, but whatever like kind of texture mapping they were doing for the fur, they look really bad.
Yeah, they look weird.
But it's kind of just stuff like there's a lot of sliding, there's a lot of wall running, which I am here for, by the way. But it's like it's not tight enough, so I'll just be like bumping into walls while I'm sliding all the time, which means my camera's not in the right spot, so I'm constantly just trying to fix that, and it's just like this just feels like loose. That's the whole game. The game just feels
a little loose. Yeah.
Of things of like, oh, I need to wall run so that I can do one jump to make it to the height. But for whatever reason, I like got on the wall at like a weird height. So my jump's not actually going to get me there. So I'm going to kind of bump into the edge and then just stand up straight as I fall down. Like there's a lot of like really kind of weird things like that where it just needs more polishing. I would love to see what a like Star Wars 2 looks like, because I think you're going to get something really strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I can just feel like this is going to be an Assassin's Creed 1 to an Assassin's Creed 2 kind of thing. Like it's a fantastic base. It just feels kind of incomplete. It feels like it needed, 3 more months to really tighten up. But I'm sure they were trying to hit like the Star Wars hype cycle.
Yep, totally.
But I mean, apart from that, I'm having like a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
enjoying. It's a good time. Yeah, like I like this kind of Metroidvania aspect, and I'm wall running, and it's like, hey, Prince of Persia. Anytime you're reminding me of Prince of Persia, I usually have a smile on my face.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty
The
good.
lightsaber fighting feels good in that game too. I really like it.
Yep.
Because they don't. One of the big problems I have, even though I like the Force Unleashed games, is that at a point it feels like the lightsaber isn't doing the damage it should. And there's a few times in this game where it also is like, okay, I feel like that should have hurt that thing more. But for the most part, anytime you're fighting stormtroopers or humanoids, the way they handle it where you're breaking their guard and then like basically executing them as soon as like you have, it makes it feel like every time I'm in a fight or whatever, I'm still using a lightsaber, and it's not like a fucking cardboard tube sword now because I'm in the last part of the game or something. Like it always felt like it did damage as long as I got through their like defense.
I think one of my favorite things also is that every now and then you will just come across like a named enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
it's
like
just like
bounty
here's
hunters.
just a mini. Yeah, here's just like a mini boss fight out of nowhere, and it was like, whoa, okay, time to get like absolutely serious here, and that's just a lot of fun. I will say though, give me fast traveling. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Yeah.
The only reason I haven't gone back so many times to wrap things up is because I know I probably don't have all the powers, so I'm gonna have to come back here later.
Yeah.
There is no way I want to run across this entire map, fighting my way across this entire map like twice.
Yeah. Yeah, the levels are big too. Like the maps.
They get big.
Yeah.
They get filled with enemies every time I hit a new meditation spot, you know?
Yep.
And if it's like, if you could just let me fast travel, which that is a thing in Metroidvania games.
Yep.
That is a very common thing in Metroidvania games. Like if you could just let me fast travel to like a spot near where this yellow door is, that would be a game changer. I would be mopping.
Arguably one of the things about Indivisible that I had troubles with too. There's no fast travel. It has fast travel between like continents, we'll say, like parts of the world, but no like getting to like it. So you would fast travel to like a place, and then it's like, oh, I have like a 10-minute like jog.
Yeah, so like being able to go to each different planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's like the same thing. Whereas like
yeah,
I don't know. The last game I played, and this will kind of bring us into news a bit, is I played the demo for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Okay.
Which is a series I had always wanted to check out, being a Pokemon fan, but just never got around to playing the Game Boy or the DS version. This game plays pretty similarly to that Pokemon game from 2 summers ago.
Rumble.
Wait. No, not Rumble. What was the one where you just like watched everyone? Like I had a good time with it because my hand was broken. We just like watched them go on like a battle. What was that? Pokemon Quest.
Yeah.
It plays pretty similar to like that. It even has like an auto mode where the characters will just walk around and find a fight. They won't fight on their own. You do have to press A, but it's like pretty easy to do that. It also this is a remaster of the old games.
Okay.
New visuals and whatnot. They put a demo out today, which transfers your progress over. And I thought, oh, I might as well play the demo because this seems like the perfect time I can finally play the series I wanted to. I don't think I like this game at all.
Oh, really? See, this is where I'm like thinking maybe I'll jump on. If this is a remake, this is a good time to try it, right?
Right, exactly what I thought. And I was like, I'm just going to buy this. I've been wanting to play this series forever, and now it's coming to Switch. Let's do it. I'm glad they put this demo out. Maybe try out the demo, because I don't think it controls very well, because you're on like 8 directional pad for some reason, which is just kind of weird when you have an analog stick. But I get it, because it's like I don't know. It is a remake from something that only had a D-pad, but like, couldn't they have made it a little better? I don't know. And I just don't. I just find it boring. Like, I guess the reason I was okay with Pokemon Quest is because it was a game I could play with one hand. But now I got 2 hands, and I want some 2-handed gaming.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll give it a bit more, but I played like 2 of the quests, and it's literally go into the dungeon, hit L, so that auto walking around happens because there's no need to search the area yourself. Your Pokemon will find another Pokemon. You hit A once, and then you'll do enough damage to kill the Pokemon. You do that maybe 1 or 2 more times until you get to the next floor. Do that 6 times in a row, and you're done.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
I'll check it out.
But yeah, check out the demo at least. But
Yeah.
that's the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I forget the full title. DX is at the name of it at the end of it.
Okay.
But with that, let's go right on to news, and I guess we'll just talk about that since I was already kind of talking to it. There was a Pokemon Direct this morning.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Real early this morning, 6:30. I watched it after the fact. I didn't wake up that early.
Sure, yeah.
This is a 20-minute Pokemon Direct they had announced a couple days ago. So they started off with talking about this remake that's coming out. It's coming out March 9th, I want to say, which is also another interesting fact because that's like right in between Final Fantasy and there's something a week later that I'm also very interested in. Is it Doom? Is it Animal Crossing? No, I think those are like 2 weeks. I think there's another thing. There's like 4 games in March. Anyway, so I don't know if there's even time to play this game when it comes out. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. They talked about that. They talked about new DLC coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is pretty exciting. $30 expansion pass for each of the games that will include 2 pieces of content, one coming in June, one coming in the fall.
This is Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra that I see here?
Right, yes, I was about to say, I cannot remember the names. Isle of Armor's first. These are going to be new areas that have a bunch of the wild area in it, which was a very cool addition to Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Okay.
It's coming with new story stuff. In fact, I believe there's an update to the base games now where you can meet one of the characters that you'll spend a lot of time with. You can also get the option. You also have the chance of catching a new Galarian Slowpoke that has like a yellow head.
Okay.
Which is cool because Slowpoke is a cool Pokemon.
Sure. I relate to it.
And then something in the first pack will allow the Slowpoke to evolve into a special Slowbro. Something in the second pack will allow the Slowpoke to evolve into a special Slowking.
Okay.
$30, 2 new areas. Pretty interesting. They specifically said they were thinking of doing this instead of like a combined third version or like ultra version that they're so used to having always done.
Okay.
I for one am for this because I'm not going to buy like Pokemon Gun or whatever it is and replay the same game that is 90% the same game just for that 10% new. I'd rather just purchase that 10% new, and that's what they're letting me do.
Yeah, as somebody who doesn't jump on the train though, like I would rather buy one game with both. Right. So it depends if you're saying,
because now if you wanted what is the equivalent of that third version, you're spending $90 as opposed to just one price, $60 for the game.
Yeah, so it benefits different people for sure.
Right. I guess I kind of feel like if you were gonna wait for that third version anyway, you'd be waiting at least another like year and a half. And I bet Pokemon would go on sale, and then you could probably still get the 2 components for $60 if you wanted to just keep waiting. But because there's no way that third version would have come out this soon.
No, probably not.
But yeah, I'm interested. You can pre-purchase it now. I'm not going to do that because why would you do that? I'm going to wait for that to actually come out in June. It's not like they're going to run out of copies of DLC. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to some like more story stuff getting added in. I hope they do more after these 2.
Yeah, what's this?
Give me a reason to keep coming back.
What's this Pokemon Home thing I see a logo for? What's this? Did they talk about that?
They said it's coming back. Pokemon Home is a thing that's been around for years, which I think is like is that the
Their
Pokemon like
bank?
bank thing where,
Oh,
you
I
can
see.
like transfer Pokemon nicely?
I see. Okay. So it's
And it
just
was like
like coming to
it was like a
Switch.
paid service. It was like $5 a month or something that you could get access to like easily store a bunch of Pokemon and transfer them around and whatnot.
Gotcha. So it's just like coming to this version is the
They're
news.
finally, they're like bringing it back and bringing it to the Switch and whatnot. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I believe so.
Okay.
I should also say in the new expansions, they're adding in a bunch of more Pokemon, they said. And even if you don't buy the expansions, you can still get access to those Pokemon by trading with someone who does have the expansion.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
So yeah. All right, this next story, I grabbed it a while ago, so
Okay.
I didn't need a refresher myself, but Valve revealed F-Stop, which was a planned prequel to Portal
Right.
that had since been abandoned. And there's some video out there of kind of the test footage. Seems pretty interesting. It seems like it's a lot of physics puzzles again, but you're taking photos of objects so that you can then kind of like place the object elsewhere. So you're kind of grabbing it from one area with the camera and putting it somewhere else. And then based on like perspective, making it like bigger or smaller. It actually reminded me of
Snapshot by Kyle Pulver.
That is not what I was thinking of. There's a perspective game coming out this year. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Coming to like PlayStation. Yeah. But they just kind of reminded me of that aspect of like kind of if you enlarge it, kind of in front of you, it's actually that big now. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out. Snapshot by Kyle Pulver. People should check that out if they like this idea. It's a platformer where you take pictures of stuff in the world and then manipulate them for platforming.
Okay, is that like a polygonal one or is it a side scroller?
It's a side scroller. It's like 10 years old now, but I think it probably still holds up. It was fun.
Sure. It sounds pretty similar. This is polygonal, obviously, hence coming off of something like Portal.
Sure.
But there's going to be a series of these videos coming out. The series is called Exposure. But the game, it was F-Stop. So pretty interesting stuff. Too bad this didn't actually come to fruition.
Yeah.
I would be curious about what other games Valve has canned, because I'm sure there's tons.
Yep. Agreed.
Wargroove is getting free DLC next month. All new story mode, new areas, a new co-op stuff.
Yep.
Called Double Trouble.
This is the
I'm
Outlaws,
just honestly
right?
pretty excited the fact that it is story content and it is free.
Yeah.
This also does remind me though I really need to get back to Wargroove and finish that game.
Yep.
Because I just kind of fell off that game after like a month or so.
Too much stuff came out, man.
But team up and lead the Outlaw faction to strategic victory with new criminal commanders in the new free DLC Wargroove Double Trouble. Looks good. There's a trailer out there that you can watch, and again, that comes February 6th to all platforms.
Okay, month away. Still got time.
I think this was today. Yes. So Warner Brothers Games Montreal is continuing to tease their Batman game. They were teasing this last, I want to say fall-ish, with some Court of Owls related imagery. They have since been putting up more images with the tagline "Capture the Night," KNIGHT. No official announcement of anything yet, but clearly it seems like they're making a new Batman game. I don't know why they're taking so long to announce it. My question is though, does anyone want another Batman game?
I want Court of Owls stuff, but yeah,
like you
game,
want like
I
another
don't know.
Arkham game, like the same. It's gonna be the same game, but just a new enemy.
No, I kind of want like a graphic novel, like a volume.
I mean, there are
definitely
Court of Owl graphic novels.
Yeah, I just want more of those. I don't really care about a game, honestly, at this point.
We've had 4 of these. I feel like I'm just kind of like that system. Like I'm kind of done with it.
Oh, see,
so this isn't Rocksteady.
For me, it was Arkham Knight kind of was a letdown. In fact, I looked back on the last 10 years. It was my most disappointing game of that year. So like,
was it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah,
I had a good time with Arkham Knight. I don't have anything against it, but it is just more of those games. I feel like it was
yeah,
diminishing returns
yeah,
heavily as it went on. Since this is not Rocksteady and it's WB Games Montreal who did Arkham Origins, all I
yeah,
can assume is they're probably not doing anything drastically different. They're probably just going to be making another Arkham game to, cash in on the strength of that brand.
yeah.
And it's like I am so not interested in another like the same Batman game at this point. The Court of Owls are cool. They are a cool villain,
Mm-hmm.
but like I just don't care about that combat anymore. Like
Sure.
Spider-Man was fine. Spider-Man did it, but it mixed it up in a significant way.
Yeah.
It was not Batman. So I don't know. I'm curious why anyone would be excited about this.
Well, it might give them an opportunity to prove that they can evolve. We'll see.
Hopefully, yeah, maybe if they do something cool with it, for sure. I seeing that Origins was just another one of those games, my expectations are not high.
Sure. Yep. That's fair.
And last little bit of news is straight out of CES, which is happening right now in Vegas, the Consumer Electronics Show.
Uh-huh.
And there's not a lot of video. I guess actually, now that I think about it, I was gonna say there's not a lot of video game news. Sony showed off the PlayStation 5 logo.
Did they? I haven't seen this.
Oh yeah, no, the internet exploded for whatever reason. That people are very excited about the PlayStation 5 logo. It's the same as the PlayStation 4
I was going to say,
logo.
this looks exactly how I would have expected. So,
for whatever reason, that thing brings in the clicks. I can tell you that.
Interesting.
It's also so it's actually weird now that we're just talking about the PlayStation 5 that was their CES announcement when like Sony is like drip feeding us little bits of news, and then I kind of like Microsoft's thing of like, yo, here's the console. Here's what it looks like. Here's the controller. Here's a couple games. Boom. Everything all at once. Let's go. And then Sony's just like, how do we counter? Here's the logo.
The
Checkmate.
logo.
Yeah. Weird, different strategies for the two of them.
Yeah.
But back to this actual news story. Alienware announced the UFO concept, which is basically a Switch for PC gaming.
Yeah. If it works, I'm in. And I'll throw my Switch away.
Have you seen this thing?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to look for something here. Is it on this page?
There's a video. Yeah, you can just click through the video if you want to like mute it or whatever you need.
Oh, that video isn't loading for me for whatever reason.
Oh, that's super weird.
Yeah.
Look it up. It basically looks kind of like a chunky Switch. It's bigger than a Switch. The screen is 8 inches big. So this is like, this is a big boy. This is a big boy. It's got like a serious fan on the back. The whole back of it kind of folds down to be the kickstand as opposed to just a little part of it coming out. The whole back goes down. Obviously, there's like Joy-Con-like things that connect into a grip so you can have a controller.
You're right. This is a Switch. Like literally.
It is just,
yeah.
it looks very much like a Switch. It has a dock. It can connect to your TV. Like they're definitely going after the Switch, which I'm surprised no one else has done.
Yeah, me
at
too.
This point, like it's been like 2 years. I'm surprised no one thought we can do that, and we're more powerful than Nintendo.
That screen, they should have kept it the same size. That's a little too big for me. I think that's no longer. The Switch is big enough as it is for a portable device. This is ridiculous. Watching it, somebody's hands on it. Fuck. It looks ridiculous.
Like I'm kind of at the point of the Switch of like, the Switch is like, I need to be sitting down if I'm going to play it portably. I can't just be like standing and walking around with anything like that. This thing is definitely like, I need to definitely be sitting down. I need to be like on a plane. Like this is a big thing. I need to, I almost plan to set this thing up every time I plan to play it.
Yeah. For at home, that would be fine. But like anywhere else, I don't know.
It seems to have like its own kind of launcher, like an Alienware OS. It does run Windows. I'm curious if that means it'll tap into your Steam library. Does that mean you need to be like installing like
An
it
Alienware
directly
launcher.
to this? Like, how do you get the game on here versus on your desktop? Like, why would Steam be okay with you? Like, I guess is it just considered another computer basically, and then you're like family sharing with yourself, kind of?
Must be, right? I would
I'm
assume.
curious how that stuff works.
The kickstand looks better than the Switches, from what I can tell. At least there's that.
Right. I mean, everything looks better than the Switch's kickstand.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. This is just it's just a concept, so they could make it smaller one when it actually comes out, if it actually comes out. Maybe the second gen one is a smaller one. Like, like I said, I'm surprised other people haven't done this, and I bet we're gonna get more of these because it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's kind of the future of gaming for sure, to have a console that like you can carry with its own screen and then plug in.
Whether that be a dedicated console or is it my phone with a controller that I keep in my backpack and a clip. So we'll see. Interesting idea.
Yep.
Looks like it was running things fine. They didn't say a lot of games, but I saw Mortal Kombat 11, Rocket League was on there, F1 2019. I think those are all the games I've seen so far. I'm surprised I didn't see like Overwatch. I feel like you would just see Overwatch on this thing. Like, that just seems like something that would be a thing.
I see this video, they're using a Steam controller, which I'll say I've been using this week.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
How's the Steam controller? I have not plugged mine in.
You know, it's a very good controller, but it's fucking weird. It's really hard to get used to.
What are you using it for?
With Steam Link.
No, but like what game, I mean?
I was playing a little bit of speedrunners with it, and that didn't go too well. It went better with I played a shooter with it, and I can't remember which one. It went better with that. And
I understand when you just plug it in, like they'll just like pick the most user approved button layout.
Yeah, from what I can tell.
That part seems kind of cool.
Sure,
that, like the community kind of figures out what's the best way to map this thing. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's a very good controller, but it is so different that like I don't know that I could even recommend it to people.
Well,
it's so different.
Say it's really good.
Huh?
Makes you say it's really good. I only hear bad things about this thing.
It feels good.
It was $5.
It feels good to hold.
You just like the ergonomics feel good?
The ergonomics feel good, and I like the haptic feedback is satisfying, and I actually like the touchpads quite a bit. Anytime I have to use the face buttons, it's a nightmare, though, because they're so deep in.
Like down to like the center, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I like the case that I bought. It's really good for holding Xbox controllers. So I like that case.
Yeah.
All right. And then you got some free games to tell us about.
Yeah, they updated finally the PC store for Game Pass, so FTL and Frostpunk are now on there. And Frostpunk is one of those ones I've been wanting to check out for a while. Did they update Game Pass for Xbox recently? I think they added something else.
They added some stuff. I thought Frostpunk was one of the ones on Xbox, but maybe that was a PC one. What did they add? Sword Art Online, I think, was the other Xbox one, and I think Frostpunk is on both.
Okay, gotcha.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
I think they just dropped Grand Theft Auto 5 last week out of nowhere.
All right, fair enough.
All right, that's going to do it for news. There's no questions this week, which I'm assuming is because everyone thought it was our Game of the Year episode, so they didn't send stuff in.
Yeah.
So let's just move on to our games of the week.
Indivisible.
I'm going to give it to Star Wars.
Nice.
All right. In terms of things to keep an eye on, hopefully Game of the Year will be next week. Hopefully John gets better. So get ready for that. If you haven't filled out the survey, we kept it open because the episode obviously getting pushed back as well. Go do the survey so that we can tally up all of our community's Game of the Year votes. It's always a lot of fun to do that kind of stuff. There's a link to the survey on our Twitter and our Discord, blah, blah, blah. And again, if you're interested in a top-down perspective sticker, getting mailed out to you. Check our Patreon. Check the Twitter for info. There's a way you can get these, which are pretty cool. I think they turned out really nicely. So get in on that before the end of the month.
Yeah.
And that'll do it. We'll see you next week. See you guys later.